Folks, if you're traveling, FAA is slashing 10% of U.S. flights in 40 major cities as historic government shutdown drags on. Rob, if you have the clip on this one here, if you want to play it, yeah, right there. This is what's going on. And by the way, can you actually see in the comment section, is anybody traveling? Did anybody actually ask a question? Has anyone's flight,
their plans,
has flight plan been canceled or affected today? If you say, I'm curious, even if it's less than 1%, if it's 82 people, I want to know if there's, just say no, it's not been canceled, and say yes if it has been. Tom, your thoughts on this story with what's going on? How big of a deal is this?
This is a very big deal. Apparently, on October 28th, ATC employees, air traffic control, received their last paycheck, and now they're in a non-pay position with the shutdown. So apparently some of them are not going to be coming to work, and they have to maintain the safety for Americans. You don't want an overworked ATC person working a 12-hour shift, especially if you have thunderstorms in Chicago or in Dallas, and they're trying to direct the safety of all those flights going to land. So now they're like, and I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% certain that what I read in my research this morning was that October 28th is when the first paycheck that they won't get, not their last paycheck, that's going to be the one they don't get. So they're not asking them, Pat, to work for free. And they're saying, those of you that are going to work, great, but some of you aren't going to be here because you're not working for free. That means, guess what? We got to have fewer flights. Airlines, how you do it is up to you with how many tickets have been bought. And you're sure if they're flying a flight from Dallas to Fort Lauderdale and that's always full 3 times a day, that one's still there. But the flights that were at 20% full, 10% full, those are the ones that the airlines are going to say, okay, I got to take so many flights out of Dallas. Where are my lightest loads or lightest flights? And so they're going to do that. And it's kind of a warning to America that says, hey, not a warning to America, a warning to all of us and our Congress, hey, this is about to get real, because the FAA also said, Pat, you ready for this? You know what the next percentage they mentioned? 50%, that 7 days later after this first 10%, they could be talking about 50% because of the air traffic control people that are not going to be working for free without a check. And so now then, who controls this?
Chuck Schumer and the Democrats.
Okay, not the shutdown.
Oh.
ATC, my understanding, falls under the purview that rolls up to the president through one of the cabinets. Okay. And so the president could allow the pinch to happen to get the Dems to negotiate with him, or could just step back and let the pain there. But I think Trump's going to use this to negotiate, Pat. That's what I think. Because 50% coming, I think that's the number they want everybody to hear. 10% of the flights this week, because some of these guys got their last
Rob,
check.
can you play this clip? Watch this clip here. Go for it.
There is going to be a 10% reduction in capacity at 40 of our locations. The administrator is going to tell you that this is data-based. This is not based on what airline travels, has more flights out of what location. This is about where is the pressure and how do we alleviate the pressure. And so I want to thank him for, him. In regard to air traffic control, we've had a conversation over the course of the last month about some of the challenges that we're having in the airspace. Many of you know that we are 2,000 controllers short, air traffic controllers short, and we have surged our academy to bring more controllers into our system. We are 20% up in controllers through the academy thus far this year. I've also offered air traffic controllers who are of the age of retirement a 20% upfront cash bonus to actually stay on. Some of the best controllers we have don't retire, keep working for us. All of that has been reducing the pressure on the staffing side of air traffic control. It's working, but it takes years to bring more well-trained, certified controllers into the airspace. The shutdown is having an impact on our ability to maintain those numbers and dent that 2,000 shortage that we have.
That doesn't make me want to fly, make me feel safer flying at all right now.
It's not like Boeing flights are falling out of the sky for no reason.
Our heads are falling off. No, but I'm not like, why would you want to fly right now with Dumb and Dumber. With people that are, imagine that, like, yeah, no, I'm going to put in an extra couple hours and I'm not going to get paid.
And what he didn't talk about
Hell
is
no.
October 28th, a bunch of them aren't going to get a paycheck. So he's saying, remember all summer long you've been hearing about Newark? People say, don't fly into Newark.
Yes.
If there's a mere cloud in the sky that looks like a thunderstorm in New York, Newark gets problem. Remember we saw these talking about Newark? Mm-hmm. Well, that's because of what he's talking about. But the punchline is, hey, look, we got people retiring. We're trying to get people trained. There's been stress in the system. And now some of them are going to stay home because they can't get paid.
No.
We need a 10% reduction.
Let me ask you. I mean,
So it was already hanging by a thread.
Tom, let me ask you. You're the expert on this one. Has the government shutdown affected your life even one iota?
My sister's not working. Oh, sorry.
You?
No,
Nothing?
I've heard about things like this.
saying for you.
Me personally, no. But me personally, yes.
I'm
When
saying
I
you
hear-
personally.
No, my family,
You?
no. But I know of people like Vinny's sister
Okay.
who work for the government and are now in a waiting game on their paycheck.
So it's affected you how?
Affected me with my sister, who's literally, she can't go anywhere. She can't leave because they could, the
Because
next
she
day.
does what? She's Space
She
Force?
she works at Space Force.
Space Force, ladies and
Very
gentlemen.
big
It's a real
deal.
thing.
And then Adam, I mean, this is affecting
That's my
flights,
point.
and
That's
if
my
I do
point.
stand
Pat,
up and I
has
can't
the government
leave.
shutdown affected your life at all?
But I'm
To
not
this point?
everybody. I'm
No,
not
I'm
everybody.
just saying for you.
It may if people that need to travel can't travel.
Bingo.
Like this weekend, PHP event, I got stuff that I'm doing. They're traveling in here today. It's not going to affect us. 10% won't. If they go to 100%, 50%, 60%, I mean, you're going to feel it. So, no, a lot of times certain things happen and you may just sit there and say, it's not doing anything for me, so who gives a shit?
Exactly.
But that's not how life works. You don't have, you don't have kids. So imagine if all kids are shut down in America. How are you impacted?
No, I
You're
agree.
not. So you have to be paying attention to how it's.
That's ultimately my point, is that up until now, the government shutdown hasn't affected average people, normal people, what
Yeah.
have you. But when you start missing flights, you start to say, whoa, what's going on
Now
here?
it's starting to hit.
10% of flights. All of a sudden, 50%
7
of
days.
flights.
Tom said
all of
7
a sudden,
days. 50.
when average people start waking up that have zero care in the
Pat,
world
I
for the
think we have
government
a
shutdown.
poll. We got like almost
is when
3,000
they-
votes in our poll now.
Has your flight been? Look at that.
wow.
2,500 votes.
20%.
Or no, not 20%. That's 500 people.
Yep. 500.
500 people.
Or
20
affected due to government shutdown. There you go. It started. This
okay,
is
so
this is the pinch.
This is where you're going to start to get the pressure to like,
And Pat, can I ask you guys
you're
a-
affecting average people.
Pat, what
on
do you
their
think,
flights.
Tom? Honestly, you, all three of you, what is going to be the moment? Because they're not. It doesn't seem like they're budging anytime soon. Trump is not going to give in ever. He's not going to give an inch, especially when all this billions and billions is going to go to illegals and all this program. How long is this thing going to go? Because I don't see any like daylight.
Go
in
back
sight.
and look at the history of shutdowns. These are the pinch points that you need to get
This is it?
Bingo.
our elected officials to Congress to cut a deal together.
Did you say
Can I ask you a
imbeciles
question?
or officials?
So let me
I
ask
think
you a
I
question.
mispronounced officials
Tom,
and I
let me
said
ask you a question.
imbeciles.
So
quick.
all the airlines, Boeing, all these places, are these like normally the CEOs? Are they woke type people? Because they're going to be making phone calls to their donors, right? They're freaking lobbyists. Like, yo,
Let me
dude.
tell you, the president of every airline is a capitalist who looks at
Exactly.
his stock ticker every morning.
Okay, so they're more conservative.
No,
they're capitalists. They
They're
wanna make money,
capitalists.
exactly.
You can be in favor of your stock and your job and still be a liberal.
But what I'm saying is, are they making phone calls to their representative? Like, yo, listen, like this is, you guys are starting to affect our wallets.
I would say airlines now are like, hey man, this is about to affect us.
Yeah,
You're not going to like this.
This is
How
pain.
much-
So right now, it's just who can tolerate most pain.
that's it.
It's already the longest record-breaking shutdown we've had.
Is
Who
it?
can tolerate most pain?
Did it break the record?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
it broke the
say
record
what you
2
want.
days ago.
Congratulations, guys.
By the way, 2026 is right around the corner. If you got big plans for 2026 and you've never written a business plan out, or you've written it, but it's not properly structured, you want some structure for it, that's why I wrote this book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely. If you haven't read it yet, click on a link below, place an order.
So if you want a signed copy of Choose Your Enemies Wisely, it's never a better time to read a book on business planning. Right now is the time. Go to vtmerch.com. Rob, we'll put the link below if you don't mind. We'll Choose Your Enemies Wisely right there signed, as well as the other copies of the books that we have. And on top of that, Rob, also put the link to Business Planning Workshop. I would do both if I were you. Read the book, then attend the Business Planning Workshop. But we're looking forward to 2026. Last night, we were at this America Business Forum. I was on stage with Brett Baer, and we're watching all the people that are there. the types of business owners. Jeff Bezos, Jamie Dimon goes before me, and then Steve Witkoff is there.
Witkoff, yeah.
Then you have Serena Williams literally goes right after me, and then
Rafael Nadal was there. Messi was there.
Trump, Messi.
Trump was there yesterday.
Unbelievable. And by the way, everybody in that place was talking about what's going to be happening in 2026. So a lot of people behind closed doors are ecstatic about 2026. If you want to get some of those strategies, register for business planning workshop. Go to bpw.betdavidconsulting.com. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.